President Paul Kagame commented on the case of Africa not having a permanent seat on the UN Security Council, saying that there has been talks for reform around inclusion for African countries that are not equally represented.
There has been a process, there has been a discussion going on for a long time now as to how the UN Security Council can be reformed, and part of that being inclusion of the African continent's voice, deservedly so. But the discussion continues, and so many views continue to come up. So we will maybe intensify the discussion in the 1 year that we have to do what the African leaders have entrusted us to do. So there are many, I think, formulas that have been suggested, but the constant is the permanent. Permanent meaning, there are some who are permanent, there are others who represent their regions but are not permanent. So I think what you are talking about is this permanent seat. The debate is very complicated and complex in a sense, but but without even putting too much weight on this, there are other things that are of equal importance that we need to be paying more attention to, that are within our means to achieve, that we can actually do, and they'll be even more productive and meaningful to Africa, to Africans, than these hot seats that we may be struggling to achieve. Bringing together Africa, the unity of Africa, the integration in all aspects, political, businesses, and other things, and speaking with one voice in whatever forum is very productive, and even more productive than fighting for a permanent seat somewhere which you are not even sure you will get. So I will really try to, working with my brothers and sisters on the continent, try to achieve what is achievable, what is within our means, and that we haven't yet been able to reach. I think realistically that is the best way to go.
Zambian President Edgar Lungu added in on his counterpart's comment on the UN Security Council reforms, saying that these are intended to bring out the potential that Africa has.
When you look at the resource base of most African countries, you discover that we are resourcefully very rich, but we have no resources to talk about. People come and exploit our resources for nothing, and we end up importing our own resources. Talk about technology, we don't have to look beyond the continent of Africa. We have others who have made a head start in terms of technological advancement, whom we should look to. And then that's the only way we can consolidate our independence, our oneness, our Africanness. The reforms that we're undertaking, I think, which His Excellency, my brother President Kagame referred to, are intended to bring out Africa, the potential that Africa has, the voice of Africa. I think that this particular visit for me is a consolidation of my firm belief in the oneness of Africa. There's a lot we can do. Like I said off camera, that Zambia and Rwanda should be the torchbearer, that there's a lot of benefits to be realized from cooperation between African states bilaterally, before it becomes multilateral. I think that this particular trip, for me, has discarded a lot of misconceptions about the potential that lies in Africa. Are you telling me that, for example, emeralds or gold or silver or copper or cobalt in Congo, DR here, ends with a boundary? Are you telling me that the diamonds in Angola, for example, end with the Zambian boundary? There's no diamond on the Zambian side. So I think that we need to wake up, in short. This is, for me, a confirmation that if we wake up now, we have done justice to posterity. But if we go into slumber, then we have done a disservice and posterity will judge us very, very harshly. That, in a nutshell, is my view of this trip. It just confirms what I've always believed in, the uniqueness of Africa.
At the presser, President Paul Kagame also commented on the Kigali decision of the AU reforms, saying that the formula adopted in 2016 was to make it easy for countries to collect the 0.2% tax on imports to be injected into African Union's self-financing.
I wish to say that 21 countries is not bad to begin with. And I know also that other countries, more countries have intention to start using the formula. I think the difficulty came about for, I would say, two reasons. One is that change, no matter what it means, even when you would think things are very clear, change by itself is a difficult thing to happen. Some people just resist change without even reasons, or at least they wouldn't give good reasons. So switching from one thing you are used to another, whatever meaning it may hold, does not happen so easily. I think that is one part of the problem. The other part is, and we've been working on that, some people are not clear about what this implies. Some people thought, by using this formula, people will be paying much more than they were paying. Well, or much more than they were not paying, because some of them actually, even with the old formula, don't pay. That's the whole problem. But a lot of effort has been put into trying to explain that actually this formula just makes it easy for collection of what is required to be paid. It has some level of automaticity, meaning it just happens. But still you will pay within the range of what a country has been assessed. There has been assessments for countries, people with bigger, smaller, medium economies, there is an assessment. My main worry is that even those who may not use the formula and have something they thought they liked, I wish they were paying. But we always have cases where people actually don't even pay for what they may claim they are comfortable with. So there are many things that come along with that, trying a new formula that has a meaning, that makes it easy, and so on and so forth. But also Africa will have to think of, other than doing what we may all feel comfortable with, what happens if you don't actually do it, when you have promised you want to do it, or that you understand the reasons for doing it. So maybe an accountability process also will have to be in place so that we really fulfill part of the bargain, and so that Africa can move forward and stop being dragged back into